Hi there, Sara Naumann here from Studio SN with a card making tip. Today we're creating an adventure themed card with Echo Park pattern papers, dies, and stamps. And I'm also going to share a tip for combining stamping and die cut shapes so that you can create something like what I've done on the front of my card here. Let me move this aside so you can see. I've got this really fun stamped bicycle image on the front of my card, and no, I have not hand cut around the outline of that. Instead, this has been done with a die cut and done perfectly and very easily. So let me show you the stamps and the cutting dies that I'm working with, again, both from Echo Park. So here is the stamp set, and as you can see with the dies, they are designed to perfectly match with the elements on the stamp set. So this hot air balloon fits perfectly over the hot air balloon. The airplane goes over the airplane, and the bicycle, of course, over the bicycle stamp. Now, one thing that you'll probably notice with these cutting dies, and with some others that you might find on the market, can you see the little metal piece that's connecting these? Well, this piece helps to keep everything together in the packaging, but you can go ahead and remove those pieces so that you have separate elements. Now, I like to use a pair of clippers, and I have some jewelry making supplies, so that's what I'm using. You can also use some old scissors. Don't use your good ones because it can ruin the scissors after a while. Or you can also just sort of bend these back and forth until that metal weakens. Whatever method you choose, I do recommend that you use a file to sort of sand down any of those little bits. I think you can see that little pokey bit on there might not be the best thing for touching inadvertently. So let's talk about how to get a stamped and die cut effect. A lot of people wonder, do you do your die cut shape and then stamp, or the reverse? And I like to do my stamping first. So I have my cute little bicycle stamp onto my clear acrylic block. I'm going to ink it up with some VersaFine Onyx black ink, and I'll just add some ink to the stamp on here and then turn it over and press. And that clear acrylic block helps me to see where I'm going, and then I've got a really perfect impression on here. Then what I can do is take my bicycle die, and you notice, of course, the ridge side needs to be facing into your cardstock or paper. And I'll just position this on here. Now, Echo Park is really good about giving you a little bit of wiggle room around there so that you're not too close to the edges and the lines. Then what I'll do is take some washi tape. You could also use masking tape, any kind of low tack tape that you have on hand, and just tap down two sides. So I'm not doing the whole thing. I'm not really securing it down. Just two little bits are going to hold that down. Then just run this through your die cutting machine. Any die cutting machine will do. And when you do, you will have a piece that looks like this. So perfectly die cut and ready to go. Now what I've done with it is put it simply onto the front of my card. And I've added some of those beautiful old world travel pattern papers from Echo Park, and these papers are just absolutely gorgeous to work with. So I've covered the front of my card with this background design. I've used a little bit of one of their faux maps from the set, and then I've also mounted this up onto gray, onto cream, onto brown, onto tan, and then added this bicycle here. And I put the bicycle up on foam tape, added some flat back pearls in the center of the bicycle wheels, and then a little bit of hemp twine along the card fold here. Now I've also stamped Adventure is Out There. That is part of the stamp set as well, so it adds a nice finishing touch to your card. Thank you so much for joining me for card making tips. This tip was from my appearance on the TV show Create and Craft. You can see more at createandcraft.com. You can also visit my website over at saranaumann.com. If you'd like to stay up to date on all the card making tips and videos, just subscribe to Studio SN on YouTube and you'll never miss an episode. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.